Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is the only iteration of the franchise I ever really got into, and I really like the show. And if it's ending consolation, it did help me get into other versions of the franchise. Although accounting Rise only got 2 seasons while others got more, it's been a little tricky. Also, I'm busy as F.
Of course. Nurse!
I'm on it.
There are aspects of traditional TMNT I could respect. Often they are only distinguishable by their headbands, and that might be part of a point. It asks the audience to focus in on certain details and recognizes nuances within characters. Also the fact a lot of our weapons are designed to contradict their personalities. I can respect that. Rise does the opposite of that, which I could also respect. Other versions of TMNT were already trying to add more distinguishability within the turtles, and this might be the most distinct each of the turtles look from each other, to the point when they are all wearing the same headband, Hamato Clan. They all still look very distinct, which is really cool. They also do away with traditional weapons to give them more mystic weapons, other than Donnie's who's summoning techno gizmos up the wazoo. Though the mystic weapons do follow similar patterns of requiring specific kinds of control. One of the strongest aspects of the show is what it brings to the characterizations of the main turtles. Traditionally, they are often typical archetypes, which even if certain iterations are trying to flesh out more, is generally what they are. Leader, angry one, smart one, goofy one. So along with the most unique looking turtles, they are also the turtles that least fit the archetypes. They actually feel more like a family dynamic if anything. So Raph's not the angry one, as much as he's the bull-headed bruiser who happens to be the leader. Leo is not quite the leadery one. He's working through some goofster phases. Michelangelo isn't quite the goof quite like Leo here. He's more the soft younger child who's game to wear a silly costume. These dynamics are played around, but they are designed in a way that they would grow into their more traditional roles as we know it. People would focus in on Raph being the leader, but what sticks out is it is this version of Raph. I mean, look at him. Even if I don't know TMNT, it's still weird to think of him as the leader. Like the big brutish guy, it would be like if Hulk led the Avengers. It's interesting with 3/4 of turtle dynamics. It would take some natural character progression to eventually have Leo mature up, as well as use his observant nature to become the leader, and Mikey to have more of his sweetness validated to become more of a goof. Now within these dynamics, Donnie is the least affected. He still is a smart one, it's just cranked up. Dude is a mad genius and it has the sass to complement it. With the techno gizmos he's worked up, I can imagine him holding his own against Jimmy Neutron or Rick Sanchez. Donnie's my fave and big reason got into the show. Leo was my least fave, but then came a point where I realized I might actually be literally him. It's kind of hard to explain, but I feel like I could relate to his humor deflection or something. You know what, all the turtles are great. Splinter was something that was really tricky to wrap my head around. Thing is that as far as turtle iterations go, Splinters are pretty split to whether he was originally human or originally a rat, and the new one's leading harder into rat again. It may have seemed a little lazy to make him a lazy mentor, and to reveal he was an actor may have seemed kind of lame, but it all kind of worked out for this version of TMNT. It does have payoffs, so who am I to complain? I mean, if I really had a nitpick of how they portrayed a franchise never really got into, going from Baxter Stockman to Baxter Stock Kid seems kinda lame, but haven't gone far enough into O3 cartoon yet to see how F-tip he got though. Does seem to get pretty F'd up. A lot of the characters imagined up for this series are original characters, and they're really fun ones too. Like some Meat Sweats, Hypno Hippo, Braxton, a lot of fun stuff. A detail I sort of find interesting is that everyone who mutates stays mutated. Like you'd think they'd try to do more to find cures for the mutates, but nah, mutants stay mutated, and they gotta live their lives, which is a bit horrifying, but also a bit of a message of acceptance, so I guess I kinda get it. If they did find a cure, would Splinter really want it? Like, people talk about the tone of a show or whatever, but for me it's like, the mutants stay mutated, this is horrifying. The animation is a big selling part of the show, which is complemented by the writing. A lot of it's really fast and really fun. There are times when an episode premise seems like a bit of a slog or comedic dribble, then boom, wild ass action. It's like, I don't really even care, cool. There's also times seeing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles use their magic powers and it's like, man, imagine a Green Lantern animation looked like this. Guys. Anyway, overall, very fun and cool show. Helped me get into TMNT stuff and will probably still remain my favorite version of TMNT. So Kawa be it.
Good.